Okay. Guys are pretty territorial at the moment. The females have just started laying eggs, so the males are very protective, but they're not too bad. It's all show. I'm not scared. Yeah, go on then, run. I won. So let's see if there's any eggs. I'm getting at least 1 or 2 a day. Number 2?
Number 2.
Female idealist of the group, who explored this matter, women's fighting roles in suicide operations in Arabic. Whether she and others would have felt Ready?
So the geese have been in this small enclosure in our forest garden for the last wee while, and we'd love to move them onto a new spot, but we don't have the time to do that today. So for the last few days we've been herding them up to the pond to give them some time on the water. At this time of the year it's time for mating, and geese find it much easier, more successful to mate whilst they're on the water. And there's lots of pondweed and pond plants for them to eat up there. They're very excited, they know what's going on. They're also very protective at the moment. The males are a bit aggro. So we're just going to open up this electric netting that they're in, and then we'll herd them up the hill. So Rose is just going to go and open up the netting, and then I'll walk behind the geese and get them out up to the pond where they can enjoy a swim and hopefully start making an impact on some of the water plants that we've got in there, which are slowly taking over our very important sauna plunge pool. So we need the geese to do their work. Oh, you know, it's not bedtime yet. Confused. Alright, that's them on the pond. So they'll probably spend quite a bit of time on here, having a clean and a feed and a bit of the old love making. Can I say that? Bit of mating. We're gonna go and get the goats now. Geese have made a great impact on the forest garden area that we've had them in for the last few weeks. Really eaten a lot of the old grass, the dead grass. They flattened it all with their feet, so you can really sort of identify the trees and the shrubs that we planted in there over the years now.
We're also hoping that they might make a bit of an impact on both of our ponds, actually, the larger ponds, because we like to use them as well, and although they tend to make it a little bit muddier, they also eat a lot of the greens, which are things that have really overgrown. This one's actually probably easy enough for us to clear out, but at the upper pond it's very deep, and you might have seen we did an episode of us attempting to clear the weeds out of that pond in our little raft, but I think the geese might do a better job, so we're hoping that that might be another benefit of putting them in the ponds on this farm. Mainly they just really love it though.
So, in the time it's been since we last made a vlog, we've actually moved one of the last remaining kids off the farm. Myrtle has gone. I know a lot of you might be sad to hear that, but we decided that Myrtle was better off with somebody else. That would be better off on a farm with better fencing. It was just becoming too much of a stress for us, especially with our very special market garden, and she was just too much of a jumper. The two adults, Mandy and P, are just great. They really respect the fences and much more of a heavy set breed of goat, so they don't jump as much, or certainly these two don't. But if you want to see Myrtle again, you can, because she's gone to live with Cheryl and Asha at Homestead in the Highlands. So not too far away from us, and that's another YouTube channel if you want to go and check them out. You'll be able to see Billy and Myrtle, because Billy, our male kid that we had, ended up going to live at Cheryl's earlier last year. We can always catch up with them whenever we want, which is really nice to see.
Come on, guys! Where are they?
They're in the house, I think.
Oh, grumpy buggers. They're in their house. Such a nice day. Losers.
Look at all these molehills.
I know.
Wow. What size is that? So yeah, it's been a while since we last made a vlog. I think at the end of one of our last market garden harvest vlogs I did say. And of course that doesn't mean we're going to be ending the vlogs just because our vegetable season has come to an end. We'll still carry on filming, hopefully every week. Well, we decided to have a bit of a break away from vlogging. It was nice just to spend a few winter months to ourselves, and we were just slobbing out too much really. We were just sleeping too much, and you know. But it's a beautiful spring day. We've had some awful weather over the last few months. I'm sure you'll be aware of some of the floods that we've been having throughout Britain. We've had snow, we've had several storms with very high winds. We live on a windy hillside anyway, but it's been incredibly windy here. It hasn't been the best conditions for filming. So we've got the camera out today and we thought we'd make the first vlog of 2020. We're going to be in the market garden today. We've got some beds to prep, we've got the polytunnel to clean up, we've got some compost to get out, and basically this is it. This is the start of the busy season for us. Our CSA veg box has been opened now for a month or so. P is just like, I don't know what she's doing. But yeah, we're excited for the season ahead. We have a great sign up rate so far for the veg boxes. We hope we can sell the last few shares. But we've got quite a lot of work ahead of us. The storms have done quite a bit of damage around the farm. We've got tarpaulins that have been blown off continuously from the high winds. We've got a few shrubs and trees that have been damaged. Yeah, as the snow recedes, you get to see what's been hidden underneath it. But yeah, it's just a bit of the spring madness, spring catch-up madness. Rosa likes to plan everything and get everything thoroughly noted down and just steadily worked at. I like to wait until it's the last minute and just try and crazily get it all done.
So we're somewhere in the middle of that right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll slowly take you around some of the things at some point that we have managed to do over the winter and some of the changes that we've made. But yeah, our main focus at the moment is just getting the garden ready.
Yeah.
Which is exciting when the weather's like this. So our main job that we're doing today is planting the garlic. Some of you may feel that this is a little bit late to be planting garlic, as a lot of people plant it in autumn. We've personally had not the best kind of experiences or result when we've done that. So last year we planted it in spring. We had good results from that, and so for us, being able to plant it in spring alongside all the other things we're planting and growing makes a lot more sense for our business. We're planting a hardneck variety of garlic, And this variety isn't actually available to order until spring, so it is specifically to be planted in spring. It should grow quick enough. We'll also get a harvest of the scapes, which will be great for our customers. Also, the main difference this year is that we're not using the landscape fabric. So it is very useful, but we would love to not really use it. So this year we're really asking ourselves the question, can we get away with not using the fabric? So that's another reason why we've put this compost on so thick. It's a kind of nod to no dig, although these beds have been rotivated before and things, but we didn't do that this year. Just broad forked, raked, and then applied this compost that's from the goat byre mainly. And then we're just going to be planting the garlic in 3 rows reasonably close together.
Alright, so garlic planting time. Rose is just heading down to go and get the bulbs, which she'll break up into cloves and then plant them into this bed that we added compost to yesterday. As Rosa was saying, this is a nod to no dig. We haven't applied enough compost. It's not thick enough to act as a weed suppressant. It's more for the fact that we need to add some organic matter to the soil. We'd love to have done no dig this year. In fact, we had planned to go fully no dig, adding at least 10 or 15 centimeters of compost per bed as a mulch. But unfortunately, we really struggled to find the compost. We currently can't make enough quantity or quality of compost to add it to the beds ourselves. We thought we'd found a contact at one point, but that fell through, and we had to just make that decision to put that plan on the back burner for now. It was going to take us a few weeks to obviously apply all of that compost and do all the work that we needed, and at this time of year time is very crucial, so we needed to get on in some way and decided that it was just proving too difficult to try and find that compost supply. So this year we will carry on. We'll do our best to reduce the use of our tiller. I mean, we've never been heavy tillers anyway. If we can cultivate the soil with a rake and a broad fork, then we always do. And when we do use the rototiller, we use it very minimally. But you've got to work with what you have access to, and right now we do not have enough community composting schemes anywhere near us to make it worthwhile, especially not economically worthwhile, because it was going to cost a lot of money to get a lot of compost trucked up here, and we just realized that wasn't going to be the case this year. Alright, so the first bed marker of 2020. Can I just draw some lines down this bed so that we've got them to follow for planting the garlic? Okay, that's some compost in the back of the trailer. If you look a few vlogs back, you'll see us making this compost pile. And this is pretty much a year's worth of bedding out of the goat shed, out of the goat byre. And it was already partially composted at that stage because it had been in a deep litter system for a year. So it's broken down very quickly. It's actually still a little bit warm, so it's still composting. But we're using it now because we need it. It's broken down enough, in our opinion, to act as a kind of rough, mulchy compost that we're just applying to the surface of our beds, our garlic beds. I'm trying not to overweigh the trailer because it's quite wet, muddy ground underneath because of all the snow melt, and I'm worried about traction getting up the hill into the garden. So we'll see how it goes. Chickens have been helping in their own special way, getting underfoot, almost losing their heads with the spade, but I'm not sure that's going to be enough. It might be enough just for one bed. We can always come down with wheelbarrows and get a few loads if we need it extra. Alright, that's a trailer load of compost on the garlic bed. Not quite enough, we need about another 2 wheelbarrow loads, so me and Rosa are just gonna take the barrows down and collect it manually, so to speak. Rosa has finished planting a whole bed of garlic, so that's 2 beds now planted today, with 1 more to go. Gotta say, it's taken a wee while for us to get used to using our bodies like this again after the winter break. Our muscles aren't as used to pushing wheelbarrows or bending over or squatting for an hour or 2 transplanting or whatever. It's gonna take a wee while to get back into fitness, but what better way to do it? Okay, so we've got 2 beds planted today, 2 beds of garlic planted today, and we're just sitting in the last of the day's sunshine, peeling off some more garlic cloves so that we can get the 3rd bed planted tomorrow morning. I think we're going to go for a beer in the sun with the goats.
Yay.
Yeah, it's been a nice day, it's been so great to be outside. I feel like this is our first proper day in the market garden this year, I think, certainly together.
Yeah.
But it's nice to feel my muscles a bit achy and
Tired in a good way.
nice dirty hands.
Yeah.
Well, today we had Mark, our volunteer, our weekly volunteer, was here in the background, and he is starting to slightly renovate our compost toilets for us, which we've got just actually out of shot to our right. The steps have rotted away, and we've always wanted to put a porch over the compost toilets to stop the rain driving in, so Mark is doing that for us. So he'll be back carrying on with that tomorrow. We're going to get on with possibly cleaning up the polytunnel after the chickens being in there, since they've created such a mess. So we need to power wash that. I'd love to get some wood chip down on the pathways here on these beds that we've been working on.
They're very slippery.
Yeah.
They're very easy, you know, they kind of lead you into falling into the bed quite a lot. Or me, anyway.
Like, come into the sunlight with me.
It's bright.
Alright, we're gonna go and have a beer with the goats and sign out from today, our first vlog of 2020. Hope you've enjoyed it. Take care and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.